recording.
Recording on progress. Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And are you everything can go right now?
We are live.
Yeah, you're live. So this is coming directly from the land of Narnia to the island of Nim and back to you in Cowles County and the rest of the world. Good morning. This is the LB hour, affectionately known as the
Pound hour.
Pound hour. Now, also yesterday it was your birthday, so I affectionately named it something else.
That was a good one, actually. The Looney Bastards
The
hour.
Looney
I'm kind of
Bastard
liking
show.
that.
I thought that was good. I'm like, well, it kind of fits, because
Well, there's a
we are
lot, a
kind of.
lot of places to go with that. The LB. It could be Looney
I know we're
Bastards.
the Looney Bastards, that's right. Or the Lazy Bums, the Lazy Bum
Yeah,
Show.
Lucky Bums, whatever.
Lucky Bums, Lazy Bums, whatever. I'm all for that. But how was your birthday yesterday?
That was good, man. We had a heck of a meal over at a place called the Country Folks Deli. I don't think I've ordered dessert in 10 years. That was amazing.
Well, the dessert was amazing, and the food actually. I'll tell you what, that's Country Folks Deli in Longview, Washington. They've changed owners in the last few years, and boy, did they do a good job of changing when they did, because the food was amazing. The service was great. I mean, even though it was completely packed and for lunchtime and stuff, they went over and beyond and made sure they made our food and stuff.
Yeah.
And the
Well,
desserts
and
was
our guy Giles, he was running around that place like crazy, but he's getting her done. He got everything
yeah,
to us, but that's quite a lunch crowd.
yeah. To
Nice to
see what
see.
it is nice to see that again. I mean, it's just to see people interacting and throughout this time nobody's been able to be together, and all of a sudden the restaurants are opening up and they do what they're supposed to do. They wore masks when they're supposed to, and went down to 25% or shut down for a while there, and now they're back to full capacity now, or how is that? I don't even know.
I don't know, but they had a tough time, but they're back, and so support your local business, not just here in town, everywhere in the country. Support your local restaurants. Get out there if you can, and
Yeah, support your local
realize they might be short staffed. So go in there
exactly.
with a little time. That was nice. We were there a good hour and a half, and our buddy
Oh,
Tony was there before we got there, and he was there for a long time too. But everybody was enjoying themselves.
exactly. Everybody enjoyed themselves. We realized when we went in there, we weren't in a rush. We knew that if we wanted to go in a rush, we would have done drive through somewhere.
Yeah,
It wasn't. I mean, we ate a lot though, and we took our time. We got good food, so that was a. I mean, I'm gonna promote it for 1 second here and say I had the chicken pesto salad or chicken pesto sandwich. So good, right? It was a. What'd you get? Oh, you had the giant club. That
oh man, that was amazing. We actually went to Grant's first, and it was almost 2 packs. So that's a good
yeah, it's a good
sign
sign.
that you have to kind of look around for a place.
Yeah, it was a people are happy and ready to get out and see each other again and help support local business. So that's always a positive sign. I know that that chocolate shop we talked about yesterday, by the way, the one next door,
Yes,
that one
Storyboard
actually
Delights.
it was open, and
Oh, the sign just wasn't on.
the sign wasn't on, and um,
Ah.
but they said the community came out yesterday in full support of everything that they're doing. So
Wow.
help them out. So that's really cool. Yeah.
Well, good. I'm gonna meet my sister there this week. Maybe we like to go to the coffee shop and chit chat. She's a coffee clatch type of gal.
Well, I like it too. Actually, oddly enough,
Yeah, I'll go in there.
I'm not a coffee snob, but they do have some good coffee and they have good hot chocolate, of course, because it's a chocolate
Yeah.
restaurant, right?
Oh yeah. And you got your friend the chocolate man in China or not China, but Thailand. When he comes back, we got to take him to the chocolate
Yeah,
shop.
we do.
That's good.
Jamie, if you're listening, when you come back into town, we gotta take you to the chocolate shop here in town. Then you can be there at night. You gotta say
Yeah.
that. Anyway, love you, buddy. Um,
I
anyway,
want to
no,
meet the guy. I'm looking forward to meeting the guy because I've watched his show
I
quite a bit.
know. Yeah, he's used to watching somebody the chocolate man in Thailand. He just travels around down Thailand and travels and promotes all their business and all the little temples they have and stuff. It's pretty neat. It's neat to go along with him.
Oh yeah.
He takes his little camera with him and his little travel buddies, and he has a good time. Yeah. So I have all kinds of questions for you today, by the way, Ryan. Whenever we get around to it, no big deal. But
Yeah.
today's questions might throw us for a loop because they are from um, womenshealthmagazine.com. We might be in trouble. Womenshealthmag.com. And yeah, did you have any other things to talk about besides that right now? We'll get to that, but
Oh well, I'm pretty caught up in this kid. He's that kid that won that fight, the assassin baby they call him, the kid from Mexico, the
assassin
first
baby.
Mexican champ. His moment on stage after he won was so powerful, it was beyond any movie I'd ever seen. And been watching a little bit about that. I wanted to show this. There's he won Saturday night, right?
Uh-huh.
Sunday morning, there were already in Mexico murals like this. I don't know if you can see this.
I
Can
can't
you
see
see
it
that?
yet.
Oh, you're seeing a little bit of my book there.
Oh,
Just a
I can't
second.
see it at the moment.
Let me try this share again. But he they already had murals, giant murals up the next morning. And so if we ever do a mural program in either one of our cities, they can be done in hours
Oh,
if they
that's
have to. I mean, it was beautiful. It was this giant, like 40-foot mural that was there the next day. The minute he won, they started painting it in the middle of the night. And so
wow.
in Tijuana, this whole wall, it was
Well,
crazy.
you
Let
get
me
a
see if
picture
I
of
can
it?
get it to you. Can you see that? Or are you seeing
I
all
can
this?
see
Just a
nothing
second.
that says started something, then it didn't
There
start.
it is. You seeing that?
Starting to.
The assassin baby. That's a giant mural, I think, in Tijuana, and it was up the
Oh,
next
that's
day.
cool.
Yeah, it's
That
not
is
perfect,
awesome.
not a perfect depiction of him, but pretty close. But
Pretty close. That's pretty good. Yeah, he looks a little thicker in that picture, but you know what? It's okay. Yeah, he deserves it. That's a great. He was a great fighter. Yeah,
yeah.
and
Well, it's a great example of they say practice makes perfect. He spent 6 months in training. That's all he focused on. So
yeah, and that's not just six. Everybody takes 6 months training. He took 6 months of intense, just
well,
direct.
usually they do about 6 to 12 weeks.
Yeah.
He went 6 months, but it was all a lot of it was mental too, and just
Oh, I'm
breaking
sure.
down his opponent.
Yep. And his opponent appreciated that,
Yeah,
and he
it's
said,
just nice to see a total joy in somebody. The whole place was going crazy. It was in Arizona. The
and the
whole
champion that he
oh,
beat. Who was the champion? What was his name?
um, Figueiredo. He was a very tough guy, very intense. And
Yeah, but he picked him up and carried him when he won.
yeah,
So that was
the
cool.
loser picked up the winner and complimented him. It was incredible, and I think both of them came out pretty good afterwards.
Yeah, that was a very positive thing.
Yeah.
Not a, you know, I enjoy martial arts and MMA stuff and wrestling. Unfortunately, I mean, things happen sometimes, and people go out of their way to hurt somebody. That's totally wrong.
Yeah.
But
Well, these were great examples of sportsmanship. And then the earlier fight with Nate Diaz, who's just a character in himself,
yeah,
that was clean. But he
he's a
after the
spot.
fight, he was more popular than the winner.
Yeah, well, he's a very neat, kind of funny, fun fighter, but he also fights very sloppily.
Yes,
That
he
word,
does
sloppily.
weird. He does weird things too. Like he'll turn his back. He'll say, "Hit me again." He'll tap his face. But yeah, he
Right.
comes out. He loses fights and comes out more popular.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Well, he had
Yeah,
blood everywhere. I mean, he had a cut on the side of his head. It looked like they should
yeah,
take
he
him
had
to
a
the
cut
hospital.
here and a cut here, and he had like 3 or 4 serious open wounds, and he just kept
Yeah.
on fighting,
Well,
which normally is.
the head of the UFC said Nate Diaz wants 6 or 7 rounds. He doesn't want to, because five's the limit. Nate
Right.
wants more rounds until somebody can't go on.
Yeah, he wants to keep on going because he can take the punches for sure.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, that
But
was a
yeah,
fun night.
it was a very fun fights on that thing. I don't recommend fighting, but I'll tell you what,
Well, but this is controlled. It's a sport.
yeah, it's controlled and teaches people some good lessons in life to
Yeah. Well, they
you
have
know,
a doctor in the octagon with them. They have cut men. They have everything. They have so much protection. The referee.
yeah,
It's
no, I see that, and I mean, I think that getting your children into martial arts actually is a great way to
yeah,
teach them a good philosophy, which is basically you don't have to fight unless you want to. You know,
yeah.
you don't.
Another good
I,
another
I
good lesson is it encourages kids when they're even 10, 9 years old, get into wrestling because all these great fighters can punch, but the ones that can also take you down, they got
yeah,
an advantage.
yeah, but I mean, those type of sports are very
Yeah,
good for the self-esteem. I think for the most part
yeah.
too. You
Discipline
learn
too.
discipline. Yeah, 100%. I had some really good instructors myself when I was younger on
Yeah.
martial arts and wrestling and that stuff, and I think in town here locally, I'll say in Longview, Washington, right now, there is an instructor which just does amazing for the kids, and that's Master Lucky Nguyen. So
Oh,
he's
Master
out.
Lucky Win. Yes, yes.
Yes,
Very,
yeah, he
very
was my
impressive. I
yeah
went to his classes for a while, but it was when I had really bad arthritis,
yeah.
and they do a lot, a lot of grabbing of the wrists and the yeah,
That's because it's Aikido, which is a
yeah.
joint manipulation.
He said not good for arthritis. Work on that first.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
couldn't get up. I was like, okay, my kids were with me and they were doing great, but
Yeah, that's
yeah,
basically
I
joint
recommend
manipulation,
him.
pressure points, and joint manipulation. So, yeah, actually, Lucky and I had the same master years ago, and our same sensei or whatever you want to say there. So he just did extremely well and went on to build his own dojo. And matter of fact, his children
Oh,
are instructors now.
yeah.
They
Well,
they do
it's
amazing.
his son Irvin, I believe. He is an athlete and a half. He could probably be UFC if he wanted, but he's just a great just martial artist, but he's also like a gymnast and he is an entertainer. And then his
Yes, he
brother's a
is.
cameraman. It's a beautiful relationship because you got the guy that likes to be on camera and you got the cameraman. And so he
Yeah,
does a
yeah.
lot of training. And I think they're in California. So,
Yeah, I think they're in California doing movies now of some sort. I'm not sure what they're doing, but
well,
and
I went
one.
to a movie they made one time at the local library, went and
Mhm.
watched their movies. So,
Oh yeah, I went there with you. I think maybe I
so
was there.
shout out to Irvin Wynn and his brother
Eric.
Eric, I believe,
Yeah,
Wynn,
Eric.
and we'd love to have them on the show because they're in
Yeah,
the
we should do
same
that
time
sometime.
zone. Have them in the
Yeah,
morning.
yeah. They got some amazing talent for martial arts, and
Well, when they come to town, maybe they come on Friday Night Live, and Irvin can knock me out or something.
hey, there you go. Uh,
We'll do
yeah,
fake.
actually, Eric is a damn good martial
Oh
artist too.
yeah, yeah. He just is so behind the scenes with that camera that's
Yeah,
his thing. I think he'll make it as a filmmaker.
yep. I think so too. I'm looking
They
forward to seeing.
they're unique too because they know real fighting and they're really good at fake fighting for the
Yep,
cameras.
yep,
They got them both
exactly.
down. Very rare to see that, but
Yeah, and you can, yeah, they can go flying through the air without with the easiest of, whether it be on the camera or behind the camera, they're good at both of those things. So,
yeah.
um,
Well,
very, very
do you have
strong.
any conspiracy theory questions? Because I'm in the tinfoil room.
I see that. I see
Yeah,
that. That looks
not
great.
bad looking, not bad.
Now, conspiracy theory. I think that uh, the the COVID, the coronavirus was started, and
I want people to see this was your goblet. I got to get some fake red
there's my
stuff in there to
goblet.
make it look like the red wine.
There you go. Yeah, you put wine or wine only put catch of flies for you. But
Yeah, that's a cool logo, the cup and the goblet.
there you go. Um,
But we're not
yes,
going to say you're not a lush or anything, and you don't drink very often. But it's just cool to have. Like I'm the coffee guy, you're the wine guy.
yeah. Well,
So
if
you'll
if it
people will give you bottles of wine, they'll give me bags of coffee, and so everybody wins.
right, yeah. I don't. I'm. It's more for me. Hate to tell you, folks. It's all about the Dean Martin,
Yeah,
and he makes everybody feel comfortable with his glass of wine, saying, "Hey, sit back, relax," and that's what I try
yeah.
to do.
Well, you
So,
have good instincts too, because you always want for us to sit on the stool and talk. And Jerry Lewis did a whole thing about that. He said, if you sit on a stool, the people are at your level, they're in your house, they're your friend.
yep,
Sit
You're
down after
inviting
you
them in.
perform. Yeah.
You invite them in, and they become part of everything. So, I mean, sure, we can think we're cool standing up and saying, bloom, and you're listening to us, but you're not being part of us. And,
Yeah.
I think it's great. Our pound hour, our Friday Night Live is doing really well. So,
Yeah.
um,
Sit
I
on a
like,
couch once in a while. I realize we just move the camera around. You can sit on the couch and announce something.
yeah, we should do that. Actually, do the
Yeah.
couch, because
We've
now you
got
have a rolling.
the only couch on wheels that I know
Yeah,
about.
now you got a rolling couch. Yeah, that's pretty good.
And I got that whole thing from the monkeys. They used to have a bed they rolled down the street with the monkeys in it. One of them in
Yeah,
there and three of them pushing it. That's classic.
yeah, I remember that. Yep. Hey to the monkeys.
Oh,
But
I was reading about Leave It to Beaver. Speaking of old television and
yeah,
interesting
well,
stuff, very interesting. It took him a lot of auditions, and then they called him in for a meeting, and he showed up in his Cub Scout suit and said, I don't know if I should be here. I'm worried about being late for my Cub Scout meeting." And they said, "You're hired."
Jerry Mathers.
Yeah, you're hired.
That's funny. That's awesome.
Well, he was just so cute and engaging, but he was worried about his scout meeting over national stardom.
Well, then it makes you wonder if he actually was smart enough to do that, or if he actually was running late for this Boy Scout.
I think he was legit. I hope.
I
I want
probably
to
would.
believe that Beaver's not, one of those guys,
Yeah, well,
manipulators.
you never know.
Yeah. Well, he and
Manipulators.
Wally still go out on tour. They go to places and people meet him, and Beaver's parents got him residuals and money off of merchandising, and they were really smart with him. So he's doing okay.
Good, good. Well, that's wonderful, because he was an icon for the years.
Yeah.
I mean, I was 73 when I was born. He was 50 something or so. When the Beaver went on for how many years?
I think it's 6 or 7. It was 57. I think he came out. They did one season and nobody watched, so they canceled it. And then ABC picked it up, and it ran 5 more years, so 6 years.
6 years, and then it went on for 50 years.
Oh, now it's bigger than ever.
Yeah,
It's in our vocabulary, basically.
yeah, yeah.
Well, you know how people will say, "Ward, I think there's something wrong with the Beaver."
That's Ward. You're a little hard on the Beaver last night.
Yeah. He was a minister, I found out. The guy that played
Fred something.
Ward. Yeah, he was a poor minister, and he got modeling gigs. And
Yeah, he was a good looking dude. Fred, what was his name? Not Woodward, obviously.
Hugh Beaumont.
Hugh Beaumont. Okay,
Hugh Beaumont.
my names are wrong.
I wonder if he's related to Hugh Jackman.
He might be. Could be related to Hugh Jardon too, but
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we were talking yesterday about we would like it if women kept their maiden name in some way. So when you're looking at the old classmates, you figure out who everybody's talking about.
sure. Yeah, I like that. I mean, I don't know. Just because someday my daughter will get married to somebody, I'll be like, keep your last name,
Yeah.
just hyphen it. But then the grandchildren won't be. They'll be, some. You never know. You never know. But I don't know.
Well, I'm glad they
Yeah,
don't have him take the first name. Some gal marries a guy and has to become Jeff.
Well, yeah, exactly. That'd be horrible. That would be horrible. No, but
I actually knew a woman named Jeff. I did know a woman named Jeff, and you know a woman named Michael.
I know some women named Michael, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to think here. I know Mikkel.
Well, I won't say too many names, but I know a guy named Odine, which is interesting, and his wife's name is Michael. So people probably get confused when Michael and Odine show up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I said, "Hey, I'm bringing over Michael and Odine," they're going to call him Michael and her Odine. But
Well, I wouldn't dare talk about them, because then we might get sued.
we didn't say their last name. The last name is Pendergrast.
Yeah, I haven't heard that name
They're
in
from
a long
Tulsa.
time, by the way. Pendergrass.
Yeah,
No,
I said that. I said that yesterday to Tony Jones for some reason.
But
We
no,
know about his name. We wanted him to change his name because his real name is Albert Krausen the third.
Yeah, no, actually, Odine
or
and
Junior.
Michael do a lot of good stuff. They're
Yeah.
people.
But
So,
yeah, I knew a lady named Jeff, and once in a while you'll have men that have traditional women's names.
Okay, so who this person named Jeff, female.
I was in a group called Market America. It was a one of those
Oh,
pyramid
yeah,
schemes or whatever
yeah, yeah.
for network marketing, and she was involved. I can't remember. She was just one of the members.
Well,
Jeff.
God bless you, Jeff.
Yeah.
That's an interesting name. I haven't yet heard a girl named Jeff before, but that's good for her. And you know, I don't. I've got a name that go either way. Lonnie can go with a boy or a girl, and then IE or I or Y. And the only Lonnie female girl I ever met was or met, but I know of is Lonnie Anderson.
Yeah.
But she did the name well. So
I worked with a lady named Lonnie, so that happens.
and there's a Lonnie Casino. I
Oh
Lonnie.
yeah, Elene.
Yeah, whatever. For years they're saying
Elene.
I Lonnie, so I'm like, yeah, that's right, it works. But hey, so let's go to these questions here for you because they're not going to be easy. I bet you anything because they are from the Women's Health Magazine, womenshealthmag.com. So these questions today are simple, actually. Simple, right? What's your favorite way to spend your day off doing something?
If I had a day off, I like to just I kind of like to have a clean slate and get up in the morning and be able to do whatever I want. Not always have a plan. Clean slate, free day, and then kind of get up in the morning and see how I feel.
Well, but if you could plan a day off, I mean, if I could plan a day off from nothing when I was younger for years, longest time, I'd say PART. Why? Because I could party
Yeah,
on a day off. That'd be great. Now, no, I'm like, it's my day off. I want to go grab somebody and go to the beach or go relax. Go to Long Beach and spend a day digging around out there. I'm getting old apparently.
yeah.
Just
Well, I'd like to have people over for a barbecue and then watch
oh,
the
I love
fights.
yeah, barbecues, family time. That's perfect. That sounds good to me. But yeah. And what type of music are you into, Brian? It's a
Music.
question, obviously.
Well, I love all music, but I always love pop music. A lot of people make fun of it, but I enjoy good pop songs and 70s songs especially. I love the 80s new wave, but the 70s pop songs were my favorite.
Yeah, I
Not
think
the
80s.
bubblegum so much, but just great 70s tunes. That song Brandy, one of my favorites.
Yeah, and I love Brandy, the song.
Lyrics.
I just
I love
happen to have
lyrics.
heard it so many times um, that you know that song just kind of plays in my head. If it starts, you hear two notes, and I was like going, "The song's in my head." I don't need to hear the rest of the song. I don't need to
Yeah.
hear it because I've heard it so many times. Is there any songs in particular that you hate?
Not really. I pretty much. I mean, I'm not into some of the like Two Live Crew. It's not
Well,
my style, or even like anything too hard rock. But
okay, but if something comes on the radio and you have to turn it off real quick, what song is that?
I don't really have any. But if one gets me that I'm not all that into is Too Raw Lou Raw Lay. That Come On Eileen.
You like that?
I like it, but I've heard it so many times, and it sounds like the beginning
Right.
of a Rod Stewart song that I really like. And then when I realize it's that song,
Come on, Eileen. Oh, I swear.
yeah,
I love that one. It's a good one.
Too
But
Raw
the whole
Lou Raw
80s,
Lay.
yeah, Thriller. Yeah, no, I love Come on, Eileen. But uh, I love 80s music for the most part too. But there's one song in particular that I hear and I have to change the station like that. And that song, I'm laughing because I know somebody's probably listening somewhere out there watching us because they know it. And it is Starship Jefferson Starship, and
Oh yeah,
we built this city.
yeah.
I hate that song. I despise. I don't hate. I
Yeah. Well,
despise.
we watched a show about that, a short show about that whole song and how it came to be.
And did we? You did, or I did?
You watched some of it with me. It's the guy said that some people hated it, but it was the most popular song they ever had.
Yeah, we built this city on rock and roll. I can, yeah. See, it just hurts my back my brain thinking
Yeah.
about it. Just
I
ridiculous.
really like that song. I know it's corny, but they were just
Oh,
having fun.
yeah, they were just having fun. Yeah. Um, and then another song that I've heard is overplayed, and I still think it's a great song, but "The Summer of '69" with Brian Adams.
Yeah.
And
And
yeah,
he said it was not about the year.
well, there you go. Exactly.
No, he said that. It was, he was a teenager because in 69 he would have been 10. So he said, no, it wasn't about the year. It was about the wild summer.
Wild Summer. There you go.
And that was a
Yeah.
popular,
So
popular number back then. So
that changes everything. I might enjoy that song again.
yeah, it's totally different. And then Brian Adams also had a song called I'll Run to You. When the feeling's right, I'm going to run all night. I'm going to run to you. That's
Yeah,
not
I heard
about a
that one.
woman. It's not about a woman. It's about his love for his guitar. Has nothing to do with the woman. It's not about cheating.
Really?
Yeah, he talked about it.
Wow, that's cool. It's good to know. You
He's
know,
Brian with a
I'm
Y
going
too.
around to you.
It's Brian with a
Yeah.
Y. He's a tricky guy though.
Yeah.
His two of
Well,
his most famous songs aren't about what we think they're about.
yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
So
because I'll Run to You sounds like he's sneaking off to see this girl that he's not supposed to be with, but in reality, it's his guitar.
I'm noticing my pictures are a little cattywampus today. Oh, there we go. This
That
picture is
was
by my
good.
father,
Good
actually,
catch.
which is kind of funny. But yeah, good old Lonnie number one. I'm Lonnie number two. He's Lonnie number one, and or I made a
LK2. That's a good one. LK.
okay,
That could be
yeah,
your cologne. That should be your cologne. LK2.
yeah, it could be. That'd be good. And I love cologne, so yeah, I should start one. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, never know. I'm interesting. Speaking of which, do you like when you cologne? Do you prefer more of the musk or the like a fruity kind? I
I can't. I like the. This is weird, but I like the Brute a little bit.
yeah, yeah,
Brute's a
yeah,
little musky. It's cheap.
yeah. It's the age,
I
I
like
think.
it. You don't smell it very often.
No, I'm glad.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Well, P Diddy had a cologne. P Diddy had cologne called Sean John, and it was actually really good.
It was really good, and that was more of a citrusy smell, I do believe. Um,
It was a perfect mix. It had a little muskiness, but nothing heavy.
what is your favorite cologne?
I'd say that. That's the best I've ever had. I bought it at the Bon Marché with
Bon
my
Marché.
friend Marty. Turned out Marty was like a connoisseur. He would go in there, and they all were excited to see him, and they'd try. He would try all the colognes, and so he took me in for that one day, and I bought the Sean John.
Yes, I was. I was. I've been a cologne person forever, and hopefully it's not too much. People don't tell me it's too much usually, so if they do, then I'll back off. But
Yeah.
I try to show a little bit. My favorite cologne currently, for the last few years, has been Invictus.
Oh,
Um,
Invictus.
Invictus, yes. I do also enjoy. Uh, well, my favorite one of all time was uh, Bul- Bulgari,
Oh yeah.
BVULGARI. Bulgari, yeah, Bulgari is was the bomb, but it had side effects that I'm not interested in right now. So
Yeah.
it was
Well,
like,
I just realized this lighting I have highlights the crags. So anybody out there that has a lot of crags and wrinkles, work on your lighting because I just realized all these lines look like they were drawn by map makers.
I never noticed that. But Bulgari, and I like anything with a citrus smell. I think it's clean and citrusy. It's good. It works well with my pheromones. So I think,
So
you
you
know,
like fruity colognes?
I do. I like citrusy clones, like citrus and clean, and it works well with my pH. So
Yeah.
the musky stuff just doesn't. It turns me off a little bit there, but you know, I don't know. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, that Vulgary cologne I used to. I mean, I would wear that, and I would seem to get a lot of attention real quick.
Yeah.
And even men would be like, I mean, one of my dear friends, the moment he smelled that, he was like, he went and bought some for himself, and so he's like, man, and then then women started to get attracted to him from his smell. You know, like, oh, like you cheating bastard using the same one I am, the same lure that I am. I'm kidding, but it was kind of funny. That's Luke. Cheers off to you, Luke. Then Luke found another Vulgary Part Two, which was like the next one, that black or some odd thing. And we'd go out in the town and have a good time. But um, yeah, I don't know. But over the next question here, which is, what's the next place on your travel bucket list and why?
Oh, I want to go to Seattle because my son lives there. We were talking yesterday about it. I want to go to Seattle. Everybody said Seattle's dying, so apparently it didn't die. So we get to go there.
Nice.
Seattle is living.
Seattle is
He
living.
likes it.
Seattle.
He's looking for their roommate. One of the roommates moved out, and so they may have a new one. He was hoping, but I want to go check it out. He's got a
Well, Seattle's a
girlfriend
fun
now,
place.
my son. So
Yeah.
living in the big city, he likes it. It's a perfect city for him. He just loves Seattle.
Well, I love Seattle. Uh, but I had to move away from there because I didn't want to raise my children there. And when I was there for probably on and off throughout my whole life, when I was a bad boy, I had to go live with my dad in Seattle.
Yeah.
So like every summer just about, and I would do that. And then uh, the in high school, I went to uh, Federal Way High School for summer school up there, and I went to college up there. I went to Highline, and
Yeah. We're
that's like
having a
imagine,
highline. We're having a highline reunion on Friday with
yeah.
Mark's coming over, and our one of our guests for Friday Night Live. He's a
Mm-hmm.
highline graduate.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, but then I lived at UW. I lived in the U Village, I should say,
Oh, you
U
lived at
Village.
UW Village?
Yeah, yeah. No,
Wow,
I
that's
went.
cool.
Yeah, no. Mr. Madden and I lived there, and for a summer at least, and uh, for a few months, and it was an interesting time for.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, and I managed a company, a camera company. I did in Seattle. I've done all kinds of stuff. I owned a company called Convenient Lube with my father. I did I managed a camera company. I was a assistant manager and stuff at the Bon Marché, and
Wow.
yeah, this is all at one time. It was like I worked my
Gee.
butt off back in the day, and yeah, and I floated around as a floater also at the Bon Marché. I would go through every department and just helping out and stuff because I was like, I wanted the money, man. I was helping out as much as I could. And I also did a little bit of my sister had a espresso shop. I helped her with a little bit too sometimes. But yeah, when you're younger and you work as much as you can when you can. I mean, it's just kind of like I was like Monday through Friday. If I could work as many hours as possible, I would do that. And then uh, I'd go from changing oil on cars directly to changing into a nice shirt and tie. By the time I got to the Bon Marché at 5 o'clock, I was like, and I'd work until 11 o'clock there. So it was
Dang.
interesting. Yeah, fun times though. You know. So also last night we watched a horror movie, and it was pretty creepy. Honestly, it was The Conjuring Part Three. Highly recommended for people who want to watch some scary stuff. Other than that, don't watch it because it's pretty creepy, and it's based on a real story, true story supposedly. So you know, but I was gonna tell you when I was when I managed the camera shop, we had to um, we accepted the photography of anybody's film to we would develop it,
Yeah.
but and so I've seen everything under the sun, literally, and um, we would develop all the photography except for if we saw a picture of
Oh
or
yeah.
uh, child abuse, or what was the other one? It was just basically child abuse and something else. We were, supposed to inform the authorities, um, and so we saw a lot of stuff. I mean, it was
Yeah.
horrible. We had contracted with adult companies and some other stuff. It was really really odd, but the scariest and the worst thing I ever saw was This reminded me of that picture of the movie last night. So um, I had these dark creatures, not creatures, but people dressed in like just long hair and stuff. They walked in and gave me a couple rolls of film to develop, and they were like, tell me they're kind of in a hurry. I'm like, okay, sure, I'll bust through this real quick. Well, my job when I was developing film was to get it to the best picture possible. So you have to make it lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter, and sometimes you have to do that kind of stuff and put in more red or more whatever magenta, whatever it's colors. You have to adjust these things for the pictures. You know what I mean? And one time, this pictures I got, they were all in hooded cloaks, like they're all in a big circle. People were going into this going into some type of a seance or whatever it was,
Yeah.
and they all had hooded cloaks, and it was very 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 dark. All the pictures were so dark. If they weren't that dark, I wouldn't have had to mess with it. I wouldn't even have seen the what I ended up seeing, which was the pentagrams and stuff. They're huge. They're huge satanic uh, event they were having, and there was this, the weirdest thing was it was like a table leg. I know what it was. It was a I have to brighten this picture up and brighten this picture up and brighten this picture up, and finally I got the colors out of it. And what it was their staff with these jewels all through it. It was really scary, actually. When you see something like this, artifact of some sort, it was just like, wow, I don't want to be here when they come back for the pictures. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was that creepy. And but they were having some type of a seance, or it was more than that.
Ceremony or something.
Ceremony. It was a ceremony. Yeah, it was a religious ceremony, and I'm certain that hardly anybody in the world's probably seen those type of pictures like that before.
Yeah.
It was weird. I didn't see any blood and like that. But they were definitely having some type of a satanic ritual, or
Yeah.
so I was like, whoa, yeah,
I think all religions have weird rituals. Think about like Christian religions and the Jewish religions of
sure,
snipping the pee on a baby,
yeah,
cutting up a baby. That's pretty bad.
yeah. But I'll tell you I
I'm
mean,
glad they did it when I can't remember. You know, when I was so young, I can't remember.
right, yeah. Well, I can. I'm just kidding, but no, like the Wiccans and so forth. I love them. I have some good friends that are Wiccans, and they do some stuff. But when it comes to creeping me out, that took the cake when I saw
Yeah.
those pictures of the people in their hooded, just hooded garbs, and
Yeah.
their uh, chalice, and they had the staff, it was
Yeah.
jeweled staff. It was just beyond creepy. And I know it happens in real life. When we were kids, they used to say that there was a we could hear people up there at Mount Solo. They said they used to have satanic rituals being done up there. I'd say
Yeah.
Mount Solo. Yeah. So
I
if,
went to a
if,
I went
if
to a
anybody's into
place.
that, more power to you. Or
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that, but
Well,
all for it.
I went to a church one time here in town up on the hill, and it was creepy. It was just really creepy.
The church
Kind of
was.
a saccharine sweet creepiness, a really weird creepiness. And I went one time, and so I never went again. The guy that brought me, it was a rich guy, and this was years ago, like 85. And one hour there, and I'm like, okay, I'm done with this.
Really creeped you
Yeah,
out.
it was just real. It just seemed not genuine, and a lot of phoniness, and a lot of really oppressed people coming up, and it was just not good. And the music sucked, and they were all loving it though. There's probably 200 people in there, but I had to
Yeah.
run. I had to run. I mean, I wasn't afraid for my life. It was just
No, but
weird.
it was weird enough. I mean, yeah. There's anytime you go over and beyond on a religion, it can really
Yeah.
scare some people. So you know.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people are creeped out by Catholics too. So I grew
Yes,
up
they are.
Catholic. I grew up Catholic, and we had kind of a boring mass, but I like that. It was 50 minutes, 52 minutes maybe, and you're done. And it was all the same thing every week.
Exactly. It was very traditional,
Yeah.
extremely traditional. And And that's one thing about the Catholic Church people don't realize. You can actually go to, if you're going to go to Kelso and hear a, I don't know, a not seminar, but if you're going to go to, it's going to be the exact same thing in
Yeah.
Castle Rock or in Seattle that day.
Yeah.
They put it out, the agenda for like the
Yeah.
masses. From
The sermon might be slightly different from each place, but the overall, all the rituals and everything and the order is all the same.
yeah, very very traditional. But I think the sermons are supposed to be the same. Actually, honestly, it's supposed to be the same around the globe type thing.
Same subject, but he can say it his way. And
Oh,
our
sure.
priest used to tell jokes and talk about football games and stuff. He go off script.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, he one time in church, it was like I think New Year's Day, and he did his communion and then he left. We're like, oh gosh. And then he came back and he said, Notre Dame 14, Texas 7. I know you guys don't want to be here.
Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah, so
funny.
people got home to watch the second half.
You have any funny church stories from the
That was
Catholic
pretty
Church?
funny. And another time, some hippies were at church and they tried to leave, but before it was over, and the priest yelled at them and stopped them and wouldn't let them leave. It was hilarious.
Oh, what were they doing there? Just hanging out, or
Oh, well, the Catholic Church in the 70s, early 70s, encouraged the hippies. So they started bringing guitars and having folk masses. And so the hippies would show up and have a good time. But some of them wanted to leave. And that was, he doesn't let you leave. The priest said, no leaving.
should I tell you my my Catholic Church story? My
Yeah, I think
one.
I've heard it, but I want to hear it again.
Yeah. So my girlfriend at the time ended up being my wife, my fiance, I should say. We were she was Catholic, and we would go to the Catholic Church, and she, was a little apprehensive. Not didn't tell me that at all. So, but we decided to go to the Christmas midnight mass,
Oh, wow.
and I'm like, honey, I got this. I'm like, I've been to every church there is. I have church hopped a little bit throughout my life, and I'm like, you know. Anyways, we're in line. They said they're gonna go do take communion, and my girlfriend at the time doesn't say anything to me. She just says, she just lets me, and she's right in front of me, of course, and I'm getting in line, and I have no problem getting in line because I've taken communion many times in my life. Well, we're in line, and she does her thing there, and I this line is huge. This is the like I said, Christmas mass, so this line is huge, and we're in line, and one priest gives me the piece of bread,
The
what's that
host.
called? The Eucharist,
The host.
the host.
Yeah, it's called the host.
Okay, they give me the host, yes, and then the next one gives me the golden chalice, which is anyways, and the body and the blood, and then he has me the golden chalice, and I know that the Catholics are drinkers, and I'm like, I wasn't really prepared for this, but he gives me the goblet of wine, and I took it and gave it back and sat back down. And my wife goes, or my girlfriend goes, he goes, what's the matter? I go, that priest knows right now. He knows that I am not Catholic. And I go, she goes, what do you mean? I go, he gave me the weirdest freaking look. He just gave me the death look. And I'm like, and she goes, what did you do? I said, I did nothing. I did nothing at all. I'm telling you now. The guy gave me the bread, the wine. I took it, and he goes, and I gave it back to him, and he just says, how much did you drink? I said, well, I drank the whole thing. I wasn't gonna, I wasn't trying to be rude. I'd make sure she goes, what do you mean you drank the whole thing? I mean, I literally he gave me the wine. I like this, and I down the whole chalice. I did not know that in the Catholic Church, one glass of wine serves everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, wow, these Catholics really could drink, because I just downed the whole chalice of wine. I was thinking to myself, wow, I can't believe they could drink that much. But and I wanted to make sure I was good. I downed it, and I like took a breath and went, I just down that whole thing. The guy's eyes were just like, look at me. To this day, I'm sorry about that. But, because that's the wine for everybody. They just wipe it
Yeah.
off. You drink it, they wipe off the rim. I'm like,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking to myself, who in God's green earth drinks after everybody else?
Yeah.
You know?
We
No.
just we didn't even do the wine back then. It was just you would have the host and he would have the chalice, but nobody drank wine. But yeah, that's funny. They started doing that. And then they started doing it with the grape juice after that.
Yeah.
You probably changed the whole thing.
I probably did. And see, that's like, wow, that's a lot of wine. I can't believe it. I just downed like that huge thing. But yeah, needless to say, we didn't tell her parents for another 10 years at least, because her mom would have been just never forgiven me at the time, because I didn't know that I thought everybody has their own little bit of wine, their
Yeah.
own little cup. Every place I went to always had their own little cup. I need to drink after everybody else. That's disgust. But you know what? Maybe it's okay because it's the body of Christ and the blood of Christ.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But anyways, that's my Catholic story, and I'm sticking to it. And I'm sorry about that, God. Um, but anyways, so what are your hobbies, and how did you get into them?
Oh, well, making TV shows and videos. I got into it because I was cut from every project I ever tried to do. Like in college, they said I had no charisma or creativity, so they kicked me out of the television. Then they kicked me out of the radio. They wouldn't let me in any of these groups, and so then I moved to LA and started learning how to use a video camera and just shooting videos and doing shows. And I've had shows at my apartments in LA. We had shows like this Friday Night Live. We had a show called The Show Off, and people would come in. Did a couple of those. They'd come to our apartment, and actors, singers, dancers would perform in the apartment. And of course, we had a lot to drink. That was we were young. I was a young person, but yeah, just putting shows together. Since it started even when I did the Ronald McDonald Carnival, and we had a show going. Then I was like 10, so just putting on shows as a kid,
Just
just putting on
being
a
in the
show,
center.
letting showcasing entertainers.
There you go. And being the center of attention help being part of it. Anyways,
Yeah,
bring it fun to others. Yeah, I get
yeah.
that. Yeah, I think as far as my what is my hobby? I don't know. People and nonprofits and stuff are kind of my hobby in a lot of ways, because I think that my grandpa and my mom always like to give back and have fun and help others. So that's wherefore I became that way. You know, I think that's kind of my hobby, right? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'd say writing's one of my biggest hobbies. I like to write, so
Yeah, you do.
written a couple
Speaking
books and newspaper articles and things like that.
speaking of which, how's it coming along?
Pretty good, pretty good. I got on some remodeling projects in my house, and that took over my life for a couple months there. But now I'm back writing. Wrote a little bit this morning. I'm gonna write today, so it's the story's done. I just have to fine tune it. It's a
Oh,
cool
good.
story. I like going back in the past. And then you and I watched something about the FBI, which told me my story was messed up because I was mentioning the FBI in 1923. It didn't exist, so I had to go through the book today and change FBI to Bureau. They call it the
The
boys from
Bureau.
the Bureau are here. That
Yeah.
actually sounds cooler. The Bureau.
Yeah.
The
And the
boys from the
FBI.
Bureau are in here.
And when did the change come?
It was like 29 or 30. A lot of it was because of Al Capone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Capone.
Yeah.
Al Capone.
I have Al Capone in the book, so he makes a brief appearance.
I'm excited to finally read that book here soon. Like
Yeah,
next
if it
week.
ever gets done, but it will.
Oh, it
It's going to
will.
get
Don't
done
say
now.
that.
I'm close. I just, you get sidetracked. If you get I'll tell anybody, if you get a project building anything or doing any kind of home improvement, you're probably not going to do your other stuff much. So decide if
Right.
you want to do it.
Exactly.
But I'm
Yeah.
ready to get back to a normal life.
You've got to make hay when the sun shines.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing with your project out there. But
Yeah.
you should have a deadline on that book of yours and say, I'm gonna have it
Oh
done
yeah.
by.
I'm hoping to have it by September, and then promote it through the fall and then Christmas and Thanksgiving, and should be good. It should be a little controversial, but not too bad.
I think that half people won't know who your special characters are.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that people around the country, once I spread it out and promote it and everything, will go, what is this place called Longview? Because it's called, the book's called Longview with question marks on each side.
Sure.
Longview. And so I could imagine people going, Longview, I got to check this place out. So they better
Yeah.
clean the place up and get it looking good.
Yeah. Well, they're working on it, I think.
Oh,
It's a
they've done
growing
really
place.
well with the
Growing place.
civic circle and the gazebo and all that.
Yeah, it's looking good. Looking
And
good
they
back
were
there.
able to make a $80,000 gazebo for under $1 million. So for the city, that's pretty good.
Well, I like it. Hopefully that I'll be able to utilize
That
it
was a
very
joke.
soon.
It did cost almost $1 million, but
I know. Yeah, I get it. I don't know how that happens, but you gotta pay people the correct wages. Apparently, I don't know. You got the architects, make sure it's not going to fall down on them.
yeah. Well, and the money was
I don't know how
donated
to do
too.
that.
There's a lot of donated money from some really
Yeah.
cool people. So, no, it's a great project. It really has that old style look of the 1890s, 1900. The ice cream socials in the gazebo.
Well, I can see some weddings being done there probably.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm gonna do a service there in the near future, so hopefully it'll be.
you can do a
It'll be good.
service there. Oh, yeah, that's a great place.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a service, some type of a gathering for our friend who passed away.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, that's a good way to do it. And it's gonna be nice weather,
yeah,
probably.
put out tables and pictures and the music
Yeah.
there and raise money for their bench.
Yeah, and then there's a restaurant right next door, and
Yep, exactly.
it's a beautiful place.
Brian, what was your favorite age growing up?
Favorite age?
Yeah.
I like my senior year was pretty damn good, so I'd say 17. Unbelievable.
No, I'm
Talked
not.
about to this day. I have people come over and they talk about that year to this day. I actually got fans out of it. It was a couple fans that still talk about stuff.
My hair is a mess, but
I was on for a year. I was, when like you're on, you come in, you play basketball or something, you're just on. I was
yeah.
on for a year.
So
Then reality hit, and
right now my question is, what is during this? This is when you're growing up. So are we not
yeah,
growing up now? Are we done growing up? Or are we just
I don't think I've ever grown up. I definitely wasn't grown up then. But it was just a hell of a year. Everything came together after a really depressing year, so that was cool.
I think that growing up, yeah, I'm not sure which age I liked the most as far as like a teenager or whatever. I don't know. I've enjoyed my adulthood for the most part. I think at 35, I thought that was pretty. Felt the most comfortable age. Like I was like, I realized I was kind of doing okay.
Yeah.
I had kids that were rocking it. I had a business that was doing good, and I was feeling pretty. I don't know, feeling like Frank Sinatra. One time there, I
Yeah.
was like, I was the chairman of the board, baby. I was on top of the world. So I feel like that was a good age for me.
Yeah.
But I'm not done. I've got some happiness to be done in this world. I'm not even
Oh,
halfway
yeah.
there. So I'm gonna, I look forward to the next half of my life being, having a lot of fun. Just slowly getting back to it right now. I'm physically not as able as I used to be, but I'm getting there just slowly. But
Well, there's a song I think that says it's always darkest right before the dawn, which is really good. It's always darkest right before the dawn. That's how I felt at 16. Things were going wrong. Junior year, my life was a shambles. Boom, changes for a good year. It's like, wow. Never give up because things can just around the corner. I had no idea any of this was going to happen.
Yep, I hear you. I hear you. The whole thing, you change your life that quick.
Yeah. It
something
was a good
happens.
for about a year. I got to be bigger than life. Then reality sets in, and being just regular is fine. But it was cool to experience that.
That's why it's, if I could tell anybody in this world not to do something, it's basically not to waste time.
Yeah,
It's just, you know, you don't have to do what's right all the time in particular. Just do, you know, do what you can do what you can do for others, you know.
excuse me.
It's a good life, but just do it, because eventually, very soon, you'll be like, oh, that didn't, why didn't I do that? And because I wasted my
Yeah.
time sitting inside a house, um, playing video games and not actually doing anything. I say that because every adult says that, but the fact is that when you're a kid, we all enjoy that kind of fun stuff, you know. But
Well, I
you
know
know,
I know people that have wasted 40 years with a man or woman they didn't love.
yep,
They should have been playing video games.
right, yeah. I don't want. I refuse to be with somebody that I don't. That I'm not happy with. You
Yeah.
know, I cannot be married unhappily. That's just not. Why would you do that to yourself or and your mate? You know, now you may get married again someday. You never
You
know.
never know. Probably not
Yeah.
today though. I'd never get married on a Tuesday. That's a thing that I've had. That's a pledge I made years ago. Never get married on a Tuesday.
Now you say that, and another year from now you married on Tuesday. It's funny. On a Tuesday, I was arrested.
Well, there was a lady named Tuesday Weld when I was growing up, a beautiful actress. Tuesday.
Well, I remember Wednesday. She was
Yeah,
cute.
Wednesday Adams was big.
Hmm. Yeah. No, and there's Friday. My girl Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of days that make it married. But
And there was a ball player named Rick Monday for the Dodgers, and there was a football player named Jeff Saturday.
really,
Yes, he's still around, Jeff Saturday.
just Saturday. Well,
Yeah.
Sunday. I don't know.
No Sunday.
Um,
I think oh no, Reverend Billy Sunday. He was big. He
sounds good,
used to
right?
yeah, he was pretty well known. Reverend Billy Sunday back in the old days.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, so
Next
every
question.
day's covered except Thursday.
Right. Well, there. Yeah. I don't know. Well, it's ladies' night Thursday, so I don't
Yeah.
know. Hey, so a question for you. Um, this is a silly one, actually. I shouldn't ask it. Would you consider yourself more of an extrovert or an introvert?
I'd
Actually, that's
say
a good
I'd say
question.
truly an introvert, and then it's forced everything I forced to do the extroversion stuff because I enjoy that attention and people liking you, so you know that don't know you. I kind of like that. It's probably a mental condition. Like Cary Grant had it pretty bad. They said, "Why'd you do all that great stuff?" And he goes, "Because I liked people watching me, and I like to be liked." It was a childhood need he'd had since childhood. Something missing in his life.
Well, oddly enough, I think people have a misconception of what introversion and extroversion really
Yeah.
is. Extroverted, which you can tell I'm kind of extroverted, um, but it truthfully is, where do you go to charge your batteries in life? So if I'm feeling low, do I go home and read some books and cuddle up and spend some time with myself and work on my own projects by myself? That's introversion. When you want to charge your batteries, I am an extrovert, and therefore I will reach out to people and go to a party or go to a gathering around others, and that charges my batteries. That's,
Yeah.
yeah, difference between extroversion and introversion. So
Yeah. I'd
yeah,
say introvert then because I like to charge my batteries alone. And then when I do the parties, it's not to charge my batteries, it's just to have fun.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
some of those parties tire you out as you get older.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I get a little tired on Fridays just getting ready for the show, even though
oh
we
yeah,
don't have that much preparation, but you're thinking about it.
yeah. I'm wiped out. We only have an hour long show, and I'm wiped out. So interesting. But yeah. What is your favorite ice cream topping?
Oh, it's got to be. that fudge, hot
Hot
fudge
fudge,
sundae.
yeah.
Oh yeah, the hot fudge,
Mm.
unbelievable. And caramel's not bad,
No, caramel's pretty good. I think
or
it's
caramel, or however they say it.
yeah. I don't know either one I'd take it, but as far as my favorite toppings, and I'm gonna say instead of ice cream topping, I'm gonna switch it to yogurt because I like the frozen
Oh
yogurt down at Sweet Spot down there on Ocean Beach Highway by the Triangle Mall area. Distillery there
yeah,
on
that's a great
Sweet
place.
Spot.
Come in and make your own setup.
You do. I like pretty much mostly plain like vanilla stuff with a coconut or something. But I like toasted coconut, and I liked some chocolate sprinkles, and I like pie crust. I put a little bit of pie crust on there every time.
Wow, that sounds
Pretty
good.
sim-
So they have all that. They have
Oh,
pie
they have
crust.
everything, man. They've got people put on gummy bears and worms and yeah, and
So
fruits
the
and everything
sweet
else.
spot in the Triangle Mall.
Area, yep, yep. It's a great spot. They
So people coming to Longview go to the Triangle Mall.
well, the Triangle Mall is not there anymore. So oddly enough,
Well, they call it the Triangle Mall. They still call it the Triangle
Triangle
Mall.
Mall area,
Triangle
yeah,
Shopping Center.
yeah,
The
yeah.
triangle. I don't even know if it's shaped as a triangle anymore.
I don't know if it is. I think yeah, I think the parking lot is. But hey, what was the last TV show that you binge watched?
Oh, Peaky Blinders. Not kind of binged it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
watched a bunch of episodes. Yeah, I'd say yeah. Peaky
Well,
Blinders.
if you didn't wait a week per episode, or at least
Yeah, I waited till it was almost season 5, so I was able to watch the early seasons. We been binge watch those. Those were
yeah,
great.
we did. That's a
This
good
is the
show.
final season coming up.
Yep. And then my daughter and I right now have been watching Dirty John, and
Oh,
if you watch that show, it's a good show actually. It's
Dirty John.
Dirty John. It's
Who's
about
in that?
well, a couple. It's many different episodes, but Christian Slater, Amanda Peet,
Oh,
um, it's the guy who played Hulk. I can't remember his name. Eric Bannon. Bannon.
oh wow.
Yeah. Um, yeah. It's about people who are abusive, and it's an interesting show. It's really interesting show. It's very good actually. It's done really well. But and then I've been watching. Started watching with my friend Sarah. Uh, we started watching The Walking Dead here the other day, so we're gonna start watching that. She has never seen The Walking Dead. She refused to do it, and then um, I think that I'm gonna get her hooked on it pretty quick. So we might watch that, you know, episode after episode or some sort.
Yeah. Well,
You know.
there's a show I want to recommend. It's a few years old, but if you want to watch a good series, it's kind of got an old west feel in the modern day, and it's called Justified. And that's the guy from Hateful Eight,
I gotta blow
Walt,
it up. I
Walt
can't see it.
Goggins, Timothy Oliphant. It's classic. It's these two. You got the good guy on the left and the bad guy, and it's just incredible. They're childhood friends. They worked in the coal mine together. It's pretty cool. Justified. It's about 5 seasons.
Huh?
One of the best series I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, he's one of the greatest villains ever because he's very kind of cute, charming, and engaging, but he's evil. So that's a good villain.
Hmm.
He's like a modern day Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, I never knew that. Never saw that before.
Yeah. Well, now you know who he is because he was kind of the star of the Hateful Eight. He took over that
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah, it was really weird. I thought it was Kurt Russell, and I don't want to spoil, but he's gone, and
Yeah, that's
suddenly Boyd's taken over, or whatever the heck his name was.
there's not The Hateful Eight, good movie, but the director's cut's very long and it's good. You just gotta, maybe watch it in episodes because it's long, but it's good. I mean, I like it a lot actually when it's done.
It just seemed like Tarantino having fun, making a movie and
Exactly.
having fun. It
Exactly.
was incredible. He even did some narration like earlier in the day.
Yeah, exactly.
What you don't know is the coffee is, not what you think.
Yeah, no,
That
it's
was
very,
good. Samuel
very,
Jackson. Yeah, Samuel
yeah,
Jackson,
Samuel
amazing.
Jackson, and very profane. Profane. There's a lot of profanity in that
Yeah, oh
movie,
yeah,
but
it's gruesome and violent, but as far as filmmaking and just great actors, geez, Jennifer Jason Leigh is amazing.
wow, yeah, she was great. I didn't realize she was so good, and then she turned it on at the end, the
Oh
last
man.
episode.
Yeah, she's incredible.
Yeah, the last episode did a lot for everybody. It was quite interesting. But yeah, that's it. Are you into podcasts or do you only listen to music?
Oh, a lot of podcasts. I do a lot. Do a lot of Rogan and a lot of Chris D'Elia. He was canceled and he came back, so it's kind of cool. And he's basically he does a podcast of a comedian descending into madness. It's pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, he's a little
Chris
crazy
D'Elia?
and he's trying to deal with his own imperfections and he explains himself. It's hilarious. He's a great comedian.
Yeah, that's
And he
cool.
gets
I
a lot
watched.
of crap and he's been canceled and came back. So that's cool to see a guy that got canceled and then just built his way back.
Yeah, I know. I know Rogan does a good thing. I don't really watch his show at all. I don't watch any of those. I very rarely watch any podcasts, but I do like the Minority Mindset, which is a it's any type of thing too. And then also Poor Dad, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's a
Yeah.
he's got a great little thing there too, and he does some explaining on how money works and how people
Yes.
should really pay attention. That's a
I
good
got
stuff.
that book when I was in Market America, that group. They
Did
talked
you Rich
about
Dad
that.
Poor Dad? Heck yeah, that was
Yeah,
good.
that's a good one.
Yeah, it is. He explains a lot, and they're very neat people, and they're not doing it because they want the money. Honestly, I mean they have so much money is
The
insane.
guy that wrote that book, he just observed his childhood and he met these people and the way his life went, and he
Yep,
realized
that's
some
him.
truth about money.
Yeah, the guy who wrote that. That's his. He does a podcast now. He's just trying to help others. Pretty good. Uh, I mean, a lot of people I don't believe in. They're trying to help. Help others.
Yeah.
That guy I do because he just explains everything. He's a Japanese gentleman
Yeah.
from
And
way back
Rogan
when.
was just about good conversation, people talking about things. They tried to cancel him, but he's uncancelable because he's not beholden to anybody. There's no production company or clubs because the cancel culture will try to go to the club you're going to play at and try to shut your show down. That's the big thing. They said, we're not coming in if you're going to have this guy. So you can't do that to Rogan. He doesn't care.
Yep.
He calls it FU money. You can't
Yeah.
cancel him. He can do what he wants because he makes his own content. And that's
Yeah.
happening a lot now with a lot of people just make their own shows. You can't cancel them.
No, you can do what you want. Yep. I understand that. But it's like Elon Musk. He's got so much money that
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't really, if he says something stupid or goes on to a podcast and smokes pot in front of the rest of the world, you really can't do anything about it. He can do whatever
Yeah.
he wants. He's just like, well, and he's actually a pretty intelligent guy, and I think that actually he's one of the smartest. And Elon Musk is just, I don't know, he's just a unique character.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't cancel him. What happens is if somebody complains, it makes his stock go up.
Stock go up. It's like, no, what you do, like, stock going up. Okay, so
we're way beyond an hour, I think.
we are.
We're at 8:17.
You're right. Okay, we gotta get out of here. Then I'll leave some more questions up for tomorrow, and that was at the womensmag.com, womenshealthmag.com, and let's pound this out real quick. You ready?
Yeah,
Yesterday's your birthday. I gave it to you.
I know.
This time,
Boom, boom. Oh,
Oh,
Ty.
yeah.
Okay.
Get
Do it
ready.
again. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, you got it. Good move.
Skizzers, my friends. Skizzers.
Everybody wins except me.
There's, you got half right. Okay, take care. Peace out, Boy Scouts. See you later, buddy.
See ya.